Hello and welcome to Songs of Syx, part 20 in the great city of Foremenlore, which is really starting to come together now. Now, in the last episode, we went for a unique event where we got a whole bunch of slaves. We have a whole bunch of Crotonian slaves who are now working for us. The shame is, they kind of brought the plague in with them. So right now, we currently have 297 infected people, which isn't great. This is causing a massive drain on our ability to use workers and such like that, because they're all puking their guts up, or, dying in the street. So, we have a little bit of an issue there. The main thing we're going to have to do is we really need to, and quickly, get some more corpse piles, because we're going to need corpse piles in order to deal with the, or not corpse piles, sorry, that's mana lords, mass graves. So these mass graves, we're going to need them in order to deal with all the people here. This is going to make people very unhappy. And that's fine. We're just going to put them here right next to the stone pit so we can get the stone nice and quick and build it up as soon as possible. Not ideal, but that's the way it is. The next thing we have to do, now we can't really do it because we currently don't have any technology, nor do we have any money that we're bringing in. We really need to get hospitals unlocked. So if we go down to health, there's these things here, medicine, physicians. We get physicians, then that allows us to get doctors. That lets us help deal with the sick people, because as it stands, our hospital isn't able to do anything. In fact, we don't have any opiate to begin with either. Looking around the map, there is a small amount of opiates down here. So what we might do is we might say to people, hey, let's just forage this up when we get a second. And you know what? We should actually just set up a very quick workstation right here. We're going to get 10 people on that. 10 people we don't have. I'm going to give this the highest priority we can, so they come along and they pick up this opium. We need it for our hospitals. Let's go. So yes, things not ideal. Brawls. There's now brawls between some of our citizens. The Crotonians and Talapi are not happy, and to be fair, the Crotonians just aren't happy in general. We can see here that our submission not going so great, I think just because people aren't so happy. As far as services go, they should be fine with services, but we maybe need to build up some more scaffolds, maybe put them out over here. We can see that we're going to be struggling with the number of graves that we have. There's just a whole bunch of dead bodies just everywhere. Yeah, it's going to take us a while for people to get better, and this plague is going to continue spreading as time goes on. In fact, you can see that number popping up in real time and drawing away people from our job sectors. But we're doing all right. We're foraging up all of this opium. We'll need it for our hospital in order to work, and a group of Crotonians have decided to leave. It's nothing we can do. Most of them are slaves anyway. Well, the slaves shouldn't leave, but the normal Crotonians will, because they're very unhappy about the fact that there's a lot of their people who are slaves. But what we'll do is we'll set this up so that we are grabbing all of these opium. Perfect. And let's turn off this workstation for just now. They should hopefully haul that back, and we should use that up lickety-split. The good news is, those people leaving, those Crotonians leaving, has dropped the number of infected people. So, that's actually a good sign. The number of infected people is still going up, but you know what? We'll deal with that when we get a second. Now, we can see that people are doing okay because of our food servicing, the number of wells we have, and our lavatories that we have available, but just due to our population, the number of corpses we have, it's not ideal. We don't have enough places for people to clean themselves, and that is really the bad point. We've got a problem here with our guard post, and it's completely degraded. Do we not have a janitor around here? Doesn't look like it. Seems like we're having a little bit of issue when it comes to having janitors. So let us copy over this janitor, and we'll get him set up. We'll probably just put him in line with these houses here. There we go. People will build that when they can. That should be fine. This mass grave here is getting cleared up, and we should be able to just dump any of the bodies we need to in here if we don't have a graveyard available. Riot. The Dondorians and Crotonians are rising up against us. How dare they? We've done nothing but be good to them. Just ignore the plague and, all the people who are dead. But it's okay, there'll be a couple of brawls. If people die, we'll shove them in the mass grave, and we should be okay. The main thing is, slowly but surely, people are healing, which is great. We can just keep that up, we can get our workforce back, and people will be okay. We're getting some people with immunity, but still quite a lot of people are dying. Not ideal. I would like to get some more medical places up and functioning if possible. But we have the other problem in that we need many more people to work inside our laboratories. And that's because we really... Okay, the riot's over, that's good. We really need to increase the amount of science that we're getting. As it stands currently, we are in a deficit. We're going to be losing out on a lot of the bonuses we have to our technology, which is not good. Yeah, more people are ill, that's fine. We can just have a couple of ill people. We should be okay with that. Now, we could build, now that we're starting to get to the point where the number of workers that we have is getting towards 0, as long as this plague keeps going down, it just keeps jumping up and down. But if we can get enough people who are not sick, then we can get our workforce back and functioning as intended. But, as it stands just now, we're just a little bit behind on workforce. Now, when it comes to brawls, Crotonians are really starting to, and the tapping, you know what? You guys are really starting to annoy me now. I'm wondering if we just persecute them and turn them all into slaves, seeing as they don't like us anyway. We'll see how we go, but I mean, Crotonians brawling, meh, you know, it'll be fine. You can tell we're a righteous person when we're sitting there going, yeah, we probably should just enslave the entire population of these people. Yeah. We've kind of gotten to that stage of the game, but not to matter. Immigrants, so a group of Crotonians have left, big shame. Can't be helped, however. Just has to happen. The main thing is that we've got all of these slaves, they'll be able to work out all of our fields and keep them going, regardless of whether or not they're unhappy. So that makes us happy. Not so happy with how the punishment settings are going. We should be enslaving all of these guys, right? Yes, so we've got 5 slavers available, it should be fine. Broken rooms. We do have a bunch of broken rooms, which isn't great. Also, we need to go down here and make sure, yes. Nobility is passed. Our university headmaster is passed today. We do need another person to do that. We're not going to grab Crotonian. We're going to make sure we grab a human food vendor. You are now our university headmaster. Additionally, we don't have any more elevations to do, but it could actually be about the time to have a slave master as soon as we get the ability. We now actually have enough slaves that I think it's probably worth it. And especially given that, I mean, we've got 925 plebeians, we've got 357 slaves. It's a lot of slaves. At least in comparison to our amounts. And we're completely filling up this mass grave. It's going to happen, people are dying. That's alright. The main thing is this number of unhealthy people is going down. Alright, Crotonians, you know what? You've annoyed me too much. Persecute everybody. So the guards will go around, they're going to round them all up. We can see that the number of Crotonians is falling. They have annoyed me for the last time, and we're just going to turn them into slaves. That's what we're going to do. Don't say that I didn't warn you. Right, the rest of you, on you go. You are now part of the slaves. You have annoyed me for the last time, and now it shall be no more. The Dendorians, we're okay with them. They're at least pretty loyal, so we're not too worried about them. It's just the fact that Crotonians, you can see they have absolutely no loyalty. Admittedly, some of that is because I have just persecuted them, but they were already pretty low. So we'll have the guards round them up, and that should get that done. This janitor over here just slowly but surely building things up. That's good. And the number of ill people is slowly but surely starting to wane. Do kind of wish we had a few more humans. The main thing is, as well, as do we just turn off our Crotonians? No, we can just enslave them now and again. Yes, make sure that we are doing that. We can see that there is no loyalty amongst the Crotonians. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be particularly happy if I were them either. As far as our submission goes, because of the number of them, we're having a little bit more of a difficulty keeping them in line. That's not great. I'm not so happy with that. But we should be okay. The main thing is that people do have access to services, so that's keeping them somewhat happy. The number of sick people is going down slowly but surely, kind of bumping up now and again, but the fact that we have our wells and such working is helping out quite a lot. So we need more cut stone in order to work. That's the other issue that we're having, is because we've had so many people die or leave, and we can see how many people have died just purely from how filled up this mass grave is, that we're struggling in technology. We're slowly but surely paying back that loan. Yeah. How are we doing for raiding? William the Ripper is dead. People are kind of looking at us. Don't like the idea of that. How are we doing in terms of our neighbors. So we've got these guys here. These guys here, they got 108 troops. We've got all our embassy here. We're slowly but surely building up support with these guys here so that we can go along and try and take them over in just a second. Then Foremenlore can really become the great, or a great part of the stage. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to give us anything here. There's an Argonosh Haven here. Interesting. Good to know. Unfortunately, this won't allow us to trade with anybody else. We are currently just beset by the province of Canis. But fortunately, they have not expanded out. It seems like there's a bunch more of larger places kind of around us. So once we get Ridge, we can try and think about moving into Kenage, but let us concentrate more on the home front until then. We've got a bunch of cold people, and I think that's because this hearth has gone down. Yeah, we can see that over here it just seems like they just didn't have anything available. We'll maybe sit there and go, hey, make sure you got some cut stone, make sure you got some pottery over here. And then we can use that to kind of rebuild this kind of area as best we can. How are we doing for these laboratories? These aren't degraded, and we can upgrade these, so we will. There we go, one of our laboratories upgraded. We've got another one over here as well. We'll do that as well. Emissary points are low, so let's have a little look. Ridge. Let's actually just take away one of our embassies just so we're not using too many. Got an inbound fruit caravan. Very, very nice. That's what we like to see. Just so we can keep up the human wet nurse, because we are actually out of fruit, which isn't ideal. Slave submission. Slaves are acting a bit out of order in submission before. Seems a little. Perhaps it would be a good thing to free a few to raise their spirits. I'm not sure about that. Maybe we can just say, hey, Garthemi, or one of you, we can give you some days off. Otherwise, we'd always just give the day off for a bunch of Crotonians just to make them a little bit happier. There we go. We can give them a day off, that's fine. We can get around that. We've got food stocks available, other than obviously the fruit, which is a little bit worrying, but the main thing is that we're still building up our fruit orchard here. Still really struggling to get these trees down. They're just growing so slowly, which is a bit of a shame. We're actually going to bump up the priority there, because I want to make sure we definitely have enough people there working there at all times. But overall, the city seems to be going okay. That mass grave really coming in handy. And hopefully this janitor will be able to actually start to build up some of these guys here. Yep, looks like we've actually managed to fix the guard post, so it seemed to be an issue with the janitor's radius. Speaking of which, let's just make sure. So we could actually get some extra things by just dismantling some of these fences that have appeared from the release. There's been a little bit of time that's gone by since the last one. There was a couple of bugs that I was just kind of testing out in my own time that have thankfully been fixed. So we'll not talk about them too much, but yeah, there was a little bit of a buggy release, but these things are going to happen. I didn't want it to impact our game too much, but main thing is that we're currently going ahead. And we're doing pretty okay. The number of sick people has gone down by quite a lot. We've still got our nobles. Still a little bit shy on workforce, but we can hopefully get around that. We've managed to pay off that massive 80,000 debt that we managed to accrue. So that's good as well. Just going to work on making people happier. So far, our humans are fairly loyal, but they're not the happiest. Let's have a little look at their services. What are they unhappy about? They're not so happy about how much they're able to go to the stage or the hospital. Also, really liking benches. We should maybe try and build some more benches when we get a second. Yeah, I think that's probably it's an easier way. Also, as part of this, they've actually changed the look of a lot of these things. I quite like it, actually, the way that looks. But yeah, we should definitely think about building some more benches. They do seem to enjoy it. They're not that costly. So we could even slave warming. Some battle gear has mysteriously gone missing. Okay. Don't like the sound of that. If there is a slave revolt, they do have more slaves in our army, which could be not ideal. Do we maybe want to start giving them stuff? We could give them some fish. We don't have any in stock. We could give them some wood. Yeah, you know what? Why don't you guys... We'll let you have wood. We'll let you have furniture. We'll also say to our main guys here, you know what? You guys help yourself some furniture as well. Just get you happier. We want to bring in more people if we can. We have the houses available for it now. Just we need more people to come into the city. Just sooner rather than later. And hopefully this should slave uprising. Alright, okay. So we got to rally up our guys. So we will. Alright, so let's Rally them up. So let's set them up in front of the throne. We'll muster these guys here. We're gonna muster these guys here, and we'll also muster these guys here. We're not getting fantastic kind of areas to go. Okay, the slaves are over there. It's good to know. They're going to start marching, and we're going to have to meet them on this field. For our troops, they're just gathering up their stuff. Slowly but surely getting here. This is going to be an interesting battle, right? In the streets of Foremenlore, the slave uprising. Right, move these guys up. These guys over here are being pretty defensive. A loose formation of guys. We can probably... What we're actually going to do is going to set them up over here. We're going to tell them to tighten up their formation. We're going to get these guys to hold the street. These guys are going to try and come around from the flank. And we're just going to be careful of these guys up north. If we can get one of these guys, because there's a lot of Crotonians here who don't really have any kind of stuff going for them. Yep, you guys start moving. Good stuff. We're mobilizing the troops. You guys, I want you to move up to defend the throne. We need to defend the throne. If the throne falls, we're done. These Crotonians here, blazing about. Damn slaves. Probably a lot of them are ill as well, which probably doesn't help. Right, move these guys up. I want to move these guys up just a little bit further so that they can hold this kind of area here in the street. There we go. These guys here are going to get ready down below. Okay, here they go. They're attacking a structure apparently. Oh, it's getting exciting this episode, that's for sure. Right, they're moving on up. We've got our troops there. Okay, they're thinking of attacking. They're starting to get around. I think I really kind of want them to go a bit further up because it's going to be a long time before these guys can get around. Yeah, start running over there, please. Just need you guys to just run into position. You know what? I think we can take these guys. Let's just go. Charge. Charge on in. We have our soldiers around here. A little bit of a higgledy-piggledy thing. Ah, this has kind of brought them round. Come on, men. We gotta go in. Ah, okay. This is a bad idea. The slaves, they've revolted. Do we keep these guys in reserve is the question. Unsure. I think we have to move them up just in case. The throne will be exposed. We've managed to get a little bit of a flank on these guys here. They are engaging. I need you guys to attack, please. One of our troops appears to have routed. Not ideal. I need you guys to just keep on going. Killing a few of them, but there's a lot of them that are here. It's not ideal. Morale has shattered. See if we can get another charge. Yeah, get another charge in. We just need to kill as many of them as we can. Come on, Foremenlore's finest. You are our best troops, our crack troops. You're engaging. Things are going questionably well. We still have a whole bunch of slaves over here as well. We're outnumbered quite a bit. It's not ideal. Not ideal. We should have raised these guys beforehand when we got the message. I didn't think this would happen so soon. Come on. Come on, Foremenlore's finest. You can do it. Come on. Just got to keep on smacking them down. We may have to also just in the city just raise up some more people. Just to be sure. That doesn't need any training. I need 100 soldiers, please. There we go. They're going to start conscripting just while we're doing that. Looks like we've had a little bit of an issue. Foremenlore's finest has fallen. Unideal. Try and get these troops over here. Looks like we've got a whole bunch of people there. Have we done some casualties to them? It doesn't really look like it. Seems like they've completely smashed us. Again, not ideal. Currently training up these recruits. Hopefully they're too busy trying to go for our buildings rather than actually moving down our streets. That would be preferable, while we can get these guys trained up. This would be a sad end to the great city of Foremenlore. Killed from within by slaves. Slave triumphs. Captured the throne through low cunning. These wretches to plunder our stores and our treasure before deserting their masters. May the gods help us through this calamity. Ah, such a shame. So they have stolen a whole bunch of stuff. Not ideal. Alright, let's get rid of this larger division. And we'll get rid of Division 1 as well. We'll just focus on our single Foremenlore's finest. That was not our finest moment, it must be said. Didn't seem like we had any weapons. Seems like the slaves cleared out our stockpile, so we actually lost all of our weapons. Now, how are we looking in terms of people? Well, we've lost all our slaves. So all of our Crotonians that we had before, most of them are dead. So slaves have come in, basically ruined our economy single-handedly, and now this has happened. Overall, not ideal. I think this is going to take a little bit of planning in order to get around, so I'm going to call this episode here. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the city of Foremenlore getting its teeth kicked in. But if you do like this, you can always help out the channel. You can become one of the Burger Band in order to get access to videos as soon as they're uploaded rather than when they're scheduled to come out, as well as some other benefits. But more importantly, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll kind of see how things go on from here. But thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care.